Welcome back to the series of lectures on microprocessor and microcontroller. Myself, Rajakishore, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Mari Lakshman Reddy, Institute of Technology and Management. In our last videos, we have seen the architecture of 8086, addressing modes of 8086, and pin description of 8086. So in this video, we're going to be see about details about instruction set of 8086. So before discussing about the 8086 instruction set, one thing we need to know why we need to write an instructions of 8086 in assembly level languages. Because 8086 is a microprocessor which can able to understand a language called as an assembly level programming. So when I want to write any program in assembly level programming, I need to know the format of assembly level programming. So in this video, we're going to see the different formats to write 8086 programming or an instruction of 8086. So before proceeding further, we know that this is an example of some program I have shown. So actually what we can say, the program is nothing but a set of instructions which written to solve a certain problem. So a group of instructions or set of instructions written to find some problem. So what is an instruction? So a direction which the processor follows to execute a task or a part of the task, we can call it as an instructions. So before proceeding further, we know the computer language where presently the computer can understand, and what we are writing for the computer is called a language which is available in two. Either we can say that high level programming or low level programming, and whatever we presently writing as a high level programming language. So whatever the examples we can take, Java, Python, all are comes under high level programming. So when we come for the low level programming, again there are two type of low level programmings are there. One is machine level language and assembly level, where as in case of machine level language, only the binary bits will be there, where a processor can understand the bits of zeros and ones only. So whereas in case of an assembly level language, the programming is a combination of some English alphabets and the mnemonics, where the mnemonics is nothing but a group of some English alphabets where a user as well as the processor can easily understand. So how it will be understand? So I need some converter which can capable to convert my mnemonics into a machine level language like zeros and one. So for that I'm going to be use assembler. Assembler is a tool, a designer which used to convert our assembly level programming into a machine level programming. So the again this okay. So in case of high level language, if you take the high level language, now it is converted into a assembly level language. From the assembly level language, it will convert it into the machine level language. When this process is there, an interpreter or a compiler which used to convert your high level language into an assembly level language. From the assembly level language, again we are going to be use an assembler to convert to a machine level language like a zeros and ones. So what finally we can come that an instruction is a language termed as a mnemonics. A microprocessor can only understand the machine language. So mnemonics are translated into the machine language either manually or by a program known as an assembler. The efficient software development for the microprocessor requires a complete familiarity with an instruction set or the format and addressing modes of instruction. So whereas if I want to write any program in assembly level language, these are the minimum requirements I need, which means that I need to know the instruction set of that particular microcontroller and what is the instruction format of that particular processor and what is the different addressing modes that particular processor going to be support. So what is an assembly language instruction format? So let us see one example. If I have write in assembly level language a start move BL comma 22H, what it means that what a user or a can understand that. So I want to move or a copy the immediate data of 22 into a register BL. So in this instruction, how the format of instruction will be there. So where the label is nothing but where I said start. Start is a label here which is optional. It means that it depends upon the programmer. If I want to include a label, he can, or if he don't want, he can remove the label. And operation code, it is a mandatory. Suppose in the above example, move BL is an operand operation code, which means that this particular code only converts into the hexadecimal value, or from that it will convert into a binary value, so that processor can understand what he want to be do. And other thing is an operand, or which means that 22H is an operand there. So which means that this operand is also a mandatory from some instructions, and some instructions it is not required. So that depends upon the a type of instruction, whether it is a single byte instruction or a 2 byte instruction or a 3 byte instructions. So this will defines that operand, whether I need an operand or not required an operand. For in case of the above example, 22H is an immediate operand, which means that I am giving a data immediate. 22 is an operand. So now some cases this operand may be an 8-bit operand or a 16-bit operand, or this operand may be a register or a memory or an IO port. And finally, the command is an again optional. The command field which tells that what user actually want to do with that instruction, or how that instruction going to be, what is about that instruction. So these type of commands, if user want to be write, that can be written in your command field. So again this is an optional. The processor won't do anything with this command field. This command field the processor won't consider. That is our convenience. We are going to be write something what it exactly that instruction want to do. Again, when we come for the format, here I am tell you the one more example, like what is there in this. So move start AX comma BX, where here the start again a label, move AX called this operation field, and BX is the operation field. So here it is given in terms of a register, where in previous example as we see it is an operand is an immediate value, but in this example I have shown operand as a one of a register. So okay, then when I want to convert assembly level instructions into the machine level instructions, the processor will perform some task, or the user need to programmer need to know what is an opcode values for that particular operand field, how a processor will generate that. So little bit see, if an instruction can be coded with a 1 to 6 byte, the first byte contains the 3 kinds of information. Okay, where the operand field is consist of a 6 byte. That operand field is nothing but add, sub, move, or whatever task I want to be do with that particular instruction. So again another 1 bit is called as a direction bit. So this direction bit is stands to tells that whether it is a source operand or a destination operand, whether I want to transfer data sourced or a destination. That is again a D, which is mentioned with 1 bit address here. So here I will mark with a pen. So this is a bit which will tell us about direction. Again I have a one more bit called as a width, which this particular bit tells that in that particular instruction, okay, when opcode is generated, how many bit of data is going to be transferred, whether it is an 8-bit data or a 16-bit. In case if it is an 8-bit data, 0 is there here. If it is a 1-bit data, 1 will be present here. So sir, how we know that? Suppose if I take an example, if I write move AL, So in this particular operand, okay, this particular operation field, I have write operand as an immediate operand 5H. So what it means, I want to move a 5H content into AL. So when the processor generating an opcode for this particular move AL, a move is a 6 byte of data will provided. 1 byte for AL is a destination, so that 1 will be there. Okay. And what is this AL? AL is an 8-bit data, so that here a 0 will be. So 6 byte plus total 8 byte of information. For example, I am taking 20 is an opcode of move AL. So again another, this is a data which is going to be. So this way it going to be a generate informations. Okay. Then so a second byte, again, because whatever we have spoke earlier is regarding about a first byte of a data. It is having three fields like opcode field, data field, direction field, and width of the field, the 8-bit or a 16. So other second byte of a data, because it is a 16-bit overall, it is a 16-bit. So in that overall 16-bit, this first 8-bit is a first byte, and the second 8 bits are the second byte, having again three fields. One is called mode field, so it tells up the mode of operation. Then is a register field. Again one is a where you want to perform this operation, from register to or a memory. So this table gives that as sum of the information. If the register value 00 AL is 8-bit of a data, width is 0, 16-bit of a VL, so that register value 00 I need to take. In case DL data is transmitting, register value is 010. In case I'm using CH value with, I want to take a 10. So this particular table will give information regarding other second byte of a fields. Okay. Okay. Now let's see that what is the benefit of writing a programming in assembly language. In simple word, we can say that it is taking a less memory. Why? Because we are writing in the code in terms of a mnemonics, which means that it will take very less memory. So in case of high level language, if I write program, it will take consumes much memory, because it want to be converted into using compiler or interpreter. It need to be converted to the mission level, converted into the assembly level. From the assembly level, it has to be again so another thing, we can say that it execute the faster, because these many conversions are not required, as I earlier said that. So that while executing assembly level, definitely it takes a lesser time compared to the high level language execution. So these are the some of the benefits of writing a program in assembly. But when you compare to the high level, writing a programming in assembly level language is somewhat difficult compared to a high level language. So then what kind of operation that can able to processor can able to perform? So because it we need to know, when I designing an instruction, how the data can be operated, what where to where I want to be transmit the data, possible ways the processor can able to transmit the data or transfer the data. So if you see this particular figure, I can transmit the data within the ALU, temporary registers within the ALU. I can transmit the data from AL to the IO devices input, vice versa. Or I can transmit the data from AL to the register AL and register to the AL, or within the register like AX to BX, BX to CX. Within the register, I can transmit the data, or I can able to transmit the data from inter memory to ALU or AL to memory or IO port to. Right. But this is the one more doubt you may get, sir, is this possible to transmit the data over memory to the memory? No, this transmission is not possible. In the microprocessor, it is not possible to transmit or transfer a data from one memory location to another memory location. We need to be take a support. Okay, either we can transmit, this is also possible, some conditions we can transmit the data from register to the external memory or external memory to the registers. So these are the different possible ways I can able to transmit the data of different part. So based on these transmissions only we have a instruction set classifications will also there. Okay, okay. Then we'll go for instruction set basics. So the what kind of type of instruction formats we have 8086 can able to be support. As we seen that in the previous, how the ways of transmitting a data like AL to memory, register to the memory, IO2. So based on that, the instructions has been classified as a single byte instructions, register to register instructions, register to or from memory without a displacement, register to or from a memory with a displacement, and immediate operand to the register or immediate operand with the memory. So these are the six set of a basic type of informations we can able to be transmit. So one after another we'll see a single byte instruction. So this single byte instruction is nothing but it will be a 1 byte of long, and it may contain a implied data or a register operand, which means that the instruction itself having a data or a register operand within. The last significant 3 bits of an opcode is used to specify the register operand. Otherwise, all the 8-bit creates an opcode. Then a register to the memory. So when I'm transmitting a data from register to the memory, it takes a 2 byte of a long in size. So the first byte code denotes an opcode value and width of the operand. That width denotes that whether it is a 16-bit or an 8-bit of an operand. And the second byte denotes the register operand, like where to where I want to be transferred the data, from register to the memory or memory to the register. So the register field denotes the type of a register is used, because as we see in the table, whether I am using AX register, BX register, CX or DX, so that particular register field tells that which register you will be specified in the instructions. So R by N is tells about the whether register or a memory location. And width of the data, as we see in that 0 for 8-bit of a data. So if you take an example, a move AX comma 2020. In this particular information, I want to transmit the data of 2020 into the AX. So where AX is obviously the register field used is AX, RM by slash used as a memory as a source and register as a destination, and the width of the thing is I'm using as a 16-byte of information. So that is about a register to the register to the memory. Then register to the memory with some displacement. So what is the difference between previous one and here is nothing but again the same thing whatever we have discussed earlier, mod type of addressing, but here we are using some displacement. Okay, and register to the memory with displacement. So what is this here? So here the lower byte of, okay, third byte of denotes a lower byte of displacement and fourth byte denotes a higher byte. So if I take an example, I can write MOV AX comma 2020 into 50H, which means that this 50H is a displacement which need to be added with an address location 2020. So that is a, in case this here having only 1 byte because I am using a 8-bit displacement. In case if I use the 16-bit of data, then I'll go for the 4th byte to denote higher order, because here only a lower order is there. Then fifth one is called as immediate operand. Again it is a 4-byte of a long in size. First byte is denoted as a code, opcode. Second byte is nothing but from where I want to be transmit the data, register or a memory, and third byte and fourth byte is indicating a lower byte of immediate value. Here it is nothing is there. Here the immediate value is going to be denoted. So immediate with the displacement. In this particular, the fifth and sixth byte are used to first, okay, used to be a displacement value. So only as we discussed in the first slide, instruction format may available from 1 byte to the 6 byte long. So when I use some instruction which is a 6 byte long, which means that that is an instruction immediate operand with the memory with a displacement. So these are the different formats which we are going to be used for the instructions. So in the next class we are going to be see about different type of instruction set, and one after another we are going to be see. And until for the next class, I'll urge you to study the topics whatever we covered up to. Okay, happy reading. Thank you very much.